The Riddler, everybody. The Riddler.
Yes.
I thought he would be asked more of a riddle than a question, but alright. But my question for you guys was, I was a big fan of the comic book of Wanted, and I enjoyed the movie quite a bit, a lot, and they were the same characters within a different universe, and I enjoyed the differences, but I want to know how much of the book is in this movie?
Well, it's also called Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, like the book. No, it's a lot of it. It's, you know, we realized, first of all, for me to adapt my own book, it, was kind of a weird experience because you have to murder some of the things you love right off the bat. There's not enough time or space for everything. But I think that most importantly, we realized that we didn't have a central villain in my book, which is a problem when you're making a 2-hour action movie. So we invented the character that Rufus Sewell plays, Adam, who is the chief of all vampires, who you saw in that sequence. We also added a character that I'm really proud of, played by Anthony Mackie, who's Lincoln's cohort that you see there, another badass fighter named Will Johnson, and that sequence itself, my book didn't have a kick-ass train sequence at the end of it, unfortunately. I forgot to write that part in the book. So I corrected that in the movie, but mostly it's just about putting your trust in Timur and knowing that he knows what he's doing, and that he is going to create these incredible sequences that you haven't seen anything like before in a movie that takes place in this time period.
I think I like the book, and what was important to keep the tone of the book, even if we're changing some elements. The tone of the book, the fun and smart stories is just what we fall in love with.
And also you're working with the structure of Lincoln's life. I mean, we've added vampires, yes, but we're also using Lincoln's actual life. Like Will Johnson was a real guy that he brought with him to DC when he became president. I mean, there's only so much play you can have because we know what Lincoln did. You're welcome.
Hi. So just to let you guys know, I'm really excited for this. It's coming out like on my birthday, and I'm a huge vampire fan. I do not like Twilight. Just putting that
out. Now, before you get to your question, I will say I have nothing against Twilight. I have nothing against Stephenie Meyer. In fact, I admire anyone who can get that many people to pick up a book and read, so my hat's off to Stephenie Meyer, and my hat's off to that. It's good for movies, it's good for literature. I'm not a Twilight hater, but that said, our vampires don't sparkle.
Well, yeah, that being said, it did do a lot to open up, the floodgates for all, like, these vampire movies, but how do you guys feel with releasing this and what it's doing to the vampire genre? I mean, there's a lot of, like, backlash about making vampire films now, so what do you guys think?
Do you know what's important? The June 22nd is your birthday date?
21st.
Okay, it's the shortest night in the year.
Yeah, we're releasing this movie on the shortest night of the year. That's the truth. It's the
yeah, summer solstice.
Yeah. So, happy birthday, yes. Just a little fact to throw out to you all, apropos of nothing. But what do we think it's doing to, so your question is like, are we oversaturated with the whole vampire thing, or?
Do you feel like it's, oversaturated, or do you guys just want to make this to reach your audience of vampire fans?
I just think it's not even necessarily a movie for our audience. Vampire lovers, yes, you'll love it. Action movie lovers, you love Timur's movies, yes, you'll love it. But mostly, it's, well, I guarantee you this. Let me answer your question this way. I guarantee you it is the only vampire movie this summer with a president killing them. So.
And what's great about Timur is he's always asking the question, is it real? Is it believable? That it's going to be, I think, healthy for vampires, other than losing all their heads. But it will be healthy for the mythos of it because it's a return to the practicality of it, a return to the reality. What does it mean that Adam has been around since the pyramids? What does it mean to have someone who lives down the street from you that also happens to be all-consuming evil? What does that do? What is the day-to-day of that guy? And I find that much more interesting, more frightening, and more entertaining.
Yeah, and for me, the big, in writing the book and then also making the movie, I wanted to pay pay respects to the vampires I grew up being afraid of. You know, I wanted vampires that would be worthy of getting their heads chopped off, and scary, no-nonsense bad guys. And I think this movie is kind of a return to form for just putting vampires back in their place.
And what's important that the vampires in this movie, they are real, and we're trying to ground them to make it, to believe in it. And for example, the vampires in the movie can work outside on the sun, because in 19th century Seth found, they developed the sunscreen.
It's the truth. It's true.
Yeah, you laugh.
SPF 1 billion.
There's a number, 15, 25, 35, depends how sunny it is.
Yes, thank you. We have another question?
Yes, hello. Timur, I want to say thank you for Night Watch and Day Watch.
Amen, sister.
Thank you, Timur.
And the scene we just saw, the music played a real, almost like extra character. I was wondering who did the score.
Henry Jackman.
Henry Jackman, who I think did, did you X-Men First Class? Yeah. Yes, I think it's our last question. Yes, sir.
What do you think, could President Obama be a vampire slayer? And what would be his weapon of choice?
Woo!
Diplomacy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Wow. Talk about a question you don't want to touch with a
10-foot.
Yeah. I think Obama could pull it off. Okay, I'll go out there. I'll say it. Yeah, he's tall. He's in shape. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a badass quality to him from time to time. As for his weapon of choice, yeah, I'm gonna, diplomacy, definitely.
Email,
BlackBerry. You guys, I can't tell you honestly what a thrill this is again to be up here and getting to present this to you. Thank you so much.
Before we leave,
we have a surprise for you before you leave, and you're going to need your glasses for it. So
we will show the trailer of the movie.
for the first time in 3D, you are seeing the next trailer for Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.